So I think the biggest reason that I like doing the digital diary excerpts, as it would be, right? And I think that's an appropriate name given that, well, in my generation, dudes who wrote diaries called them journals, I guess, but it was like more gender specific. And then, anyways, I think it's an appropriate title. And the thing is I started this. I think it was like a social media. Uh, obviously, what was it? Oh, middle life aged vlogs or something. There's one of them down in the video history of uploads there on the channel. But I had a lot longer hair, and it was January 3rd, I think, of 2023, and it was inspired initially because I used to one of my favorite books growing up as a kid was this book called Dear Mr. Henshaw. From my understanding, it has a pretty big, still to this day, sort of quote cult, close quote, following in terms of its popularity and how it resonated with so many different children as a kid book read. And so if anyone's ever read that book, or has read it to their child, or maybe their child's read it and you have it, it's an interesting book. But it's this young man who puts in his journal every single day his life experiences and stuff. And I had always thought it'd be kind of an interesting, not just social experiment, but again, more for me in terms of just the selfishness of just wanting to have a platform to divulge sort of all of my personal information to, in terms of like my feelings and what happened to me that day or whatever. And so I'm finding that I like doing these little excerpts. I guess that was the whole point of what I was saying. But yeah, today was pretty good. And, a few videos were made or whatever. I was able to get some stuff done on my eBay store. It took a really, really long time to get all of that done, but that was, it got done, I guess. And so I feel as though the weather is pretty awful where I am for the season. It should be a lot warmer, but it is not. It is a lot colder than normal, but I guess that can be expected. The weather changes all the time here in Albuquerque, New Mexico. I was speaking to a call center rep from Armenia, and that was interesting because then I went and found it on a map, and I found out that it was really close to all of these other really close and cool other. It was nearby and close to all these really other cool places in the world. And I've never traveled abroad or internationally. I have traveled domestically um, quite extensively, but nothing outside of the U.S. borders. And so it's always interesting and fun to talk to somebody from a different part of the world. That was the exciting part of my day. I know that I've decided not to look for a job while I'm making these videos and writing my books, and I know that that has continued to take a financial toll on my household in terms of um, my roommate carrying the brunt of all the bills, and I know that it's difficult, and I feel terrible about these kinds of things, and so I know that last year was real tough, and I've said that before, but I have to give myself credit where it's due in terms of finding and continuing to find the motivation to kind of still push forward no matter what the obstacles are. And last year was a challenge. I was just very much challenged, and so and it takes time to get back up to speed, and it costs money. And again, so I mean, other than some kinds of like some financial burdens or whatever, things are going okay, and I look forward, I guess, to the upcoming week for sure.